Sunday 1st of July, and just a little over a year now until the 2019 Island Games get underway on the Rock. One event in particular always looked set to pose a unique challenge to organisers, and this weekend they passed a significant milestone as the Streets of Gibraltar saw their first ever official sprint triathlon. While shorter triathlons have been held on portions of the runway and along the east side in the past, this course would be a test run for next year's race and a chance for both local athletes and officials to get a taste of what will be in store for them at the Games. First up was a 750-metre swim, out towards the buoys, along the length of Eastern Beach and back into shore. Most of the competitors opting for full-body wetsuits, perhaps taking into account the numerous reports of jellies along Gibraltar's coast this summer. And they were off with a splash. While the sprint triathlon is only about a quarter of the length of its fully grown counterpart, it's still certainly nothing to be trifled with. Each leg was expected to take the top competitors around 20 minutes to complete, amounting to around an hour's worth of racing at high speeds. And of course this doesn't take into account several variables such as currents, temperatures, wind speeds and other factors beyond their control. The first of the competitors approached the shore, and it was Andrew Gordon first out of the water, stripping out of his swimming gear as he made his way to the transition area. Chris Walker wasn't too far behind him, and Robert Mather was third onto dry land as the racers picked up their bicycles and made their way up Sir Herbert Miles Road, past the Galeta and up towards Dudley Ward Tunnel. Gordon was still in the lead as he passed by Catherine Bay, but calamity for him as he would lose control and come off his bike at a speed bump just seconds later. He would pick himself up though. He and the rest of the competitors would complete 4 laps of this segment, amounting to 20 kilometres. The speed bumps, sharp curves and the hill which needs to be navigated both ways would prove a challenge to most. Combine this with the scenery on either side of the cycling section, and we can at least be sure that none of the visitors next year will find the course boring. Walkhead pushed out in front following Gordon's fall. Meanwhile, Beth and Berera led the way for the women. A steady stream of racers followed, and one by one they took their final turns into Eastern Beach, dropping off their bikes and beginning their 5-kilometre foot race. The running would consist of 4.5 laps up and down Eastern Beach Road, but also incorporating this tough little uphill section into the car park and then back down again. Walker had managed to stay out in front all this time, although there was a slight mix-up as he ran into the finishing area when he still had a lap to go. He managed to recover, get back on the course and hold on to first place. A finishing time of 1 hour and 11 seconds. Chris the overall winner, but Robert Mather pushing him all the way to the end, coming in less than 10 seconds later. Andrew recovered from his fall to hoist himself up into third. There's no guarantee that he'd have been able to keep Chris from top spot even if he hadn't fallen, but a shame nonetheless on what was otherwise a great success all rounds. Chris, of course, not only competitor but an organiser too, and as a veteran of countless other triathlons, I asked what he had made of his new local course.
Well, it's the first time I've ever raced in Gibraltar because in all other events I've been organising, so it's been a really nice change. As you know, the course is a test event for the next year's Island Games. So the course is a tough course. It's the swim's fantastic. Eastern Beach was great this morning. The bike course is very technical. It's got some speed bumps. It's a bit hilly, tight turns, but it's all part and parcel of triathlon racing, and it's no different to any courses that we do all over the world. And then the run, obviously up and down Eastern Beach, is very draining in the sun. And then we've got that little detour up to the reclamation ground 4 times, which makes it extra tough.
So how do you say it compares to other courses that you run in your time?
Well, the courses vary, but in terms of a sprint distance or an Olympic distance race, most of the races are now multi-lap. The bike courses vary depending on the terrain. More often than not, they're a little bit flatter than this one, but of course the hills make it extra demanding, and that's what we want for next year's Island Games.
Bethan finished in a time of 1 hour and 15 minutes flat to secure first place in the women's race.
Congratulations, Beth, in first place. Not something that you're used to. How did you find running in Gibraltar?
It was great. The course was great. The supporters were fantastic. It's my second triathlon really ever, so it was an experience. I was quite nervous, but I'm pleased with the result.